Dunmore's movie Mania presents I'm Not Saying, I'm Just Saying. The Beatles, Something. In the most celebrated catalogue of modern music, George Harrison's Something is objectively one of the Beatles' most acclaimed songs. Consider the evidence, starting with his own bandmates. Paul McCartney said it was Harrison's greatest track, and Ringo Starr said it was one of the finest love songs ever written. John Lennon loved George's song so much that he convinced the band to release it as Harrison's first A-side single, where it went to #1 around the world. Paul Simon described Something as a masterpiece. Elton John said, "It's probably one of the best love songs ever written, and the song I've been chasing for the last 35 years. Frank Sinatra called it
one of the best love songs I believe to be written in 50 or 100 years. Really is one of the finest.
And Frank's cover version was just one of hundreds that resulted in Something becoming the second most covered Beatles song of all time.
Something in the way she moves attracts me like no other love.
Something in the way he grooves me.
I don't want to leave it now. You know I believe in how.
With all the acclaim and awards and best-of lists and cover versions, Something is a classic. It is, inarguably, a beloved ballad to generations of music fans and, most certainly, a transcendent love song. But is it? Because it's not a love song. It's not even a finished song. It's a breathtaking melody and soaring production and crafted arrangement and impeccable performance, but with the laziest placeholder lyrics ever clumsily dumped onto a page and given the misguided designation of love song. I'm not saying Something is a bad song. I'm just saying there's something wrong with Something. The lyrics began life as a placeholder. When George started writing Something in 1968, it's well documented where the first line came from. George had been listening to a recently signed artist to the Beatles' Apple Records, none other than Mr. James Taylor, whose song Something in the Way She Moves is on his first Apple album.
Something in the way she moves.
By all accounts, it's clear that George used James Taylor's line as a placeholder, and then he just never bothered to fix it. Now, the point here isn't that Harrison is a thief or a copyright lawsuit should have been filed. James Taylor has stated that he's flattered having his lyrics in a famous Beatles song. But let's stop identifying Something as a passionate ode to George's wife, when the line that informs the rest of the song's lazy lyrics was a placeholder belonging to someone else. Think about it. What if instead of the James Taylor song, George had used Old MacDonald as placeholder lyrics?
Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-E-I-O. On that farm he had some cows. With a moo here and a moo there.
Would the song now be considered a heartfelt paean to livestock?
Attracts me like no other lover.
So wait, I think he's admitting he has other lovers? And this lover, his beloved wife, attracts him slightly more than the rest of his groupie concubine. What a lucky gal. Let's dig a little deeper into this attracts me like no other lover line. Here's an unguarded conversation between the Beatles during a recording session. George is presenting the unfinished Something to his bandmates.
What could it be, Paul? Something in the way she moves. It's in your head each time. What attracted me at all? Just say whatever comes in your head each time. Attracts me like a cauliflower until you get the word, you know?
So while he's formulating words to this magnificent, romantic love song to his wife, George flippantly jokes to the lads that he can't remember why he's attracted to her. Was George really writing an homage to his muse, his partner, his best friend? Or was he following John's advice and just saying whatever came into his head?
Something in the way she woos me.
Wooze me? Seriously. Wooze me? Where are we, George? Tin Pan Alley? It's one thing to borrow from James Taylor, but now he's dipping into the Al Jolson catalog?
Bless while I woo thee with a soft melody.
The idea of wooing someone was corny even in 1968. And let's look at the definition of woo. Trying to gain the love of. It sounds like George is enjoying sitting back and making her do all the work for him. The guy who's not really that interested in her in the first place. That's kind of passive-aggressive, bro.
I don't want to leave her now.
Wait, so leaving her is a consideration? What are we talking about here? And leaving is not only an option that he's ruminating, but it's voiced loud and clear in this supposed ballad of eternal love. And yet, the worst part of Don't Want to Leave Her Now is that it beget the truly bizarre rhyme that follows.
You know I believe in how.
Oh, come on. And how isn't a lyric. It's a lazy rhyme for now. And look, we're back to corny, old-timey lyrics from a bygone era. And how is just a quaint, outmoded little phrase that, as far as I can tell, was popularized by the Little Rascals.
And how? And how? And how?
Why is "and how" in a modern rock ballad? What is going on here?
But I don't need no other lover.
What's with George constantly bringing up other lovers?
You know, I'm a Beatle, right? Just a friendly reminder there's a bunch of groupies standing out on the sidewalk waiting for me right now.
Let's examine the bridge section. A powerful moment in the song, to be sure. But while the music is heavenly, the lyrics are god-awful.
You're asking me will my love grow? I don't know.
She's asking a fair question. Will this relationship continue to blossom, to get deeper, to grow? And then, what's George's profound assurance of his eternal commitment to the love of his life?
I don't know.
He's essentially offering her the equivalent of, maybe, maybe not. And his indifference continues. With a shrug, he says,
Stick around now, it may show.
ooh, dangling the carrot. I'm kinda indifferent about whether you're staying or going, but if you do hang out, I guess I'll think about whether I should consider possibly letting you know if I've made up my mind about a decision to show you any potential feelings that may or may not exist. Wow, it's getting so romantic in here. George must be quoting directly from their wedding vows. And George doubles down. He still doesn't know.
I don't know.
He scores a few points for being honest, I guess. Maybe. Anyone? Okay, I get it. Maybe you're not buying into the notion that a classic beloved song like Something is merely a collection of placeholder words. Fair enough, but consider. There's a word that songwriters use when they're presenting a song, and they want you to know that the lyrics are still a work in progress. It's a temporary catch-all word, a throwaway word, a placeholder, if you will. The Beatles probably used this method countless times when they were in the process of crafting their unfinished songs. And maybe the process sounded like this.
Long and something road that leads something. We all live in a something. I am the something. They are the something. I am the something, something ka-choo.
The quintessential placeholder word is also the quintessential placeholder song. I'm not saying, I'm just saying.